I just finished watching one of my favorite songs, The Joke by Brandy Carlisle. And I had no idea that the song was dedicated to trans people and a bunch of other, like, migrants and immigrants and minorities and all of that. But I didn't know that it was also dedicated to trans people. And while listening to it, I don't know how to explain it. I kind of remembered, especially because I just made the video that's been uploaded prior to this, and I've been talking about love and realizations and all that. Do you know how much I love the entire human species? Do you know how much I specifically love the LGBTQ alphabet community? And then, to be more specific, the people who transition from one gender to the next, or those like me who are born in between. We used to be called hermaphrodites, now we're called intersex, or gender non-conforming, or binary, or whatever. Basically both male and female at the same time. There's a love I have for being who I am, and for knowing that this community exists, that a few thousand years ago, maybe in another aeon of time, like more than 26,000 years ago, people were known as Amazons, people like us. You know, those beings were the rulers. They were the ones who made the decisions, who healed, they were the ones people looked up to and got advice from, because they had an extra perspective. They weren't just from male or female, they were both. Or they had first the male perspective, then the female, or the female perspective, and then the male. And then all those people who have really suffered through life, not with, hashtag white girl problems, but with actual soul lessons, to where if you don't, to where no matter what you choose, your soul and your consciousness is going to change permanently. Like what I've been going through with my divine counterpart. No matter what choice I make regarding this entire situation with him, my soul changes, and in turn his changes, and we can choose light or dark with every single day that we exist, and every choice to communicate or not to communicate, or to withhold or not withhold anything. It creates the light and the dark within us. To be born one gender and then to know that you're the opposite, and then to spend so much time and to go through so much pain, and to learn about yourself and to know yourself inside and out, physically, in every inch of your body, and then to go through the recovery of surgeries, the costs and the damage to the family units, and the entire restructurization of how people perceive anyone, including you and your gender, to have the entire collective around you be evolved just by your choice. So your mom has to change, your dad has to change, your siblings, your friends, your co-workers, the neighborhoods, everyone has to evolve because you chose to be authentic. That's a really big deal. And I don't think people give each other anywhere near the credit that they deserve. I know I haven't gotten the credit for having held on to the love I've felt with my partner, or the love of my life, who I'm currently not with. I know there's so many people who don't get the credit or acknowledgement or anything for their work, their thoughts, their words, their emotions. People suffer in silence, and it has to stop. People succeed and thrive in silence, and that has to stop. We need to be a community again, an entire global family of people, of siblings, of husbands and wives and mothers and children and fathers and uncles and aunts, and an entire human and extra human families. There's no reason for me and my divine counterpart to be going through this absurd amount of pain, to where each decision is darkening or brightening our souls one way or another. There's no reason for a 16-year-old to be banished from a family because they're attempting to be authentic to themselves. There is no reason to be hated for having breasts or not having breasts, whether you're a woman or not. There's absolutely no reason to feel less than a woman if you have facial hair or a dick, or if you have, to feel less than a man if you have breasts or curves. We have to change how we view ourselves as a species. We're acting less than the birds and the bees. If the human collective can't have at least the same level of acceptance as apes, then you don't get to make decisions or laws at all. I mean, that should be plastered on every wall anywhere. If you can't have the same level of acceptance as a monkey, you don't get to make rules. Because the rules you would make are based on an inability to have emotional intelligence and actual intelligence and wisdom. You need those things to be able to accept those around you, including yourself. And if you don't have those things, why would you be allowed to make laws or rules or cities? It's a little ridiculous that it's been allowed to go on for this long. I think that's one of the reasons why why every community on this planet exists, actually. Every community that has ever in any way asked others, just by existing, to evolve. The first woman that wanted to work, when everybody says, no, that's a man's business. The first man that put on a dress and said, I'm going to do this because it's what feels good to me. The first time a partner was like, I forgive you for cheating because I love you more than the need to hate you for what you did. And everyone's like, no, that person cheated, you should hate them. Like, no, I love them more than that nasty behavior. There has to be a point where we as a species look at ourselves and accept that we've been living a less than human life in a human body. We have been the reason why humans have become the trash of the planet. And I see it all around in the world. The flooding, garbage being blown around in Croatia so much that the entire place is covered in garbage bags. I don't know if you've seen that on the news lately, like the actual news. The way the governments and politic systems are basically falling apart, the way all the nastiness is being revealed. Mother Nature has had enough. Human nature has had enough. And then we blame Satan and Lucifer and God and the devil and demons and whatever, but we're the ones doing it. They would have no power here if we didn't consent to giving them that power through our actions and beliefs. No amount of rules, laws, planets, wars, spaceships, nothing would have any power if everyone on the planet said, enough. Enough is enough. If you can't accept each other like monkeys accept each other, you don't get to decide anything about anybody. So If you've ever felt like you're the underdog and you're fighting against a planet that just makes no sense, I feel you. If you've held on to love when everyone's telling you to let go and give up and move on and release the past, and you refuse to because you love somebody more than what's expected of you, I feel you. If you've been forced to have the only thing that's left in your hands be hope, I'm right there with you. It'll get better. The world may have to have a complete flushing of all of the parasite-ridden beings that refuse to better themselves. But have faith and know that those of you that intend on being better, that's all you need to do. Accept each other, accept yourselves, forgive each other and forgive yourselves. If you've hurt someone, apologize. If you've been hurt, forgive the person that hurt you. They didn't know what they're doing or how much they're hurting you, no matter what anybody tells you, because nobody can know your capacity to feel. They just think that you feel the same way they do, or that, the level is the same. They know they hurt you, but they don't know how much. And then they hide behind a computer screen and text and silent messages and phones and, busy, or judgments and fears just to justify their own fears. They make up scenarios about you. They make laws and things to keep you in a certain place. They abuse you. They put terrible things on Facebook and subliminal messages to get you to feel bad about yourself so that you can conform, so that no one ever has to feel uncomfortable enough to grow. And I'm telling you, I have endured more than I'm ever going to share with you. And I'm not giving up. The love of my life is the love of my life, and I will not replace that love of my life with another face just because it's convenient for the world or energy at large. I love whom I love, and I will not stop loving this man. The world can go into oblivion, time itself can cease, eternity can end, and infinity can release its cycle, and I will still be here loving him. It's that simple. That's my choice. My body can blow up or implode. It can be covered in more hair than Sasquatch, or I can be as hairless as a Sphinx cat. I can never have breasts, or I can have the biggest ones. I can have a womb and I can not have a womb. I don't care. I am a woman. I'm a goddess. I am a god. I am Source incarnate. And I love whom I love. Don't give up on yourself. Being transgender isn't easy. Being certain ethnicities isn't easy. Being alive on this planet isn't easy. Stick to your truth, know who you are, and accept that you will always be learning and growing. But allow the foundations of your learning and growing to be unconditional love to yourself and to your divine counterpart. Please choose love.